back to my mini-series of behind the scenes of being a business owner. Today we're joined by Pedro and my blanket with my face on it from my AAT bus stop campaign. Today we're just going to chit chat about how to maintain client relationships and how to set boundaries, because I think this is really important, especially as a new business owner when you're not quite sure how to set boundaries. You want to be accessible all the time, so if your clients have a question, you don't feel like you're leaving them for extended periods of time. You want to check in on them, make sure that they're okay. At the beginning of my journey, I made myself accessible 24/7, which was obviously a big mistake in retrospect, but I didn't know any other way to do it. I had one phone at the time which had everything on it, so my emails, my social media, my personal stuff as well, and so I would constantly be on that phone. I couldn't switch off because everything was on there. So if a TikTok blew up and I would get inquiries through my website at like 1 a.m. in the morning, I'd reply, which was stupid, but I was up and it was on my mind and I couldn't sleep if I hadn't sorted it. And so for me, that was really difficult. And then at the beginning, I didn't set my boundaries with my first clients because I just wanted to be the best accountant in the entire world and give them everything they needed and more. So I think it's really important that you learn what boundaries are for you. So if you don't want to work on the weekend, don't work on the weekend. If you know that you want to work a 4-day week, work a 4-day week. Set your contact hours. So if you know you want to work from 9 to 5, then don't reply to clients after 5. Otherwise, you set the precedent that they can contact you at any time and they'll get used to that. And then when you go, oh no, don't text me after 5, they'll be like, well, I've been doing it for months now, so I'm just going to carry on. And so it's really important that you set those boundaries as soon as possible. And it is difficult as a new business owner because you just want to give the most you can give, but you will never be able to wind down. That's something I used to struggle with and still struggle with now. I always say my brain is on. It's switched on. There's just so much client stuff happening in my head and I can't switch off that when I go to bed, I can't sleep because all that's on my mind is work. And so now I've got in the rhythm of having like a nighttime routine so that I can wind down and forget about work, and then my sleep is so much better and I'm able to feel more refreshed the next day. But all of that comes with setting boundaries for when I'm working, because as most of you know, I work the weekends. That's just a personal choice for me because during the week I go to events and I sit in a lot of meetings and therefore no actual work gets done, and therefore on the weekend I do the actual work. And that doesn't work for everyone, but it works for me because I live by myself and I've got no dependents, so I have that free time to be able to work. So now I really try avoid working late nights. Everything needs to be done by 8 p.m. and then I make dinner. I try not to order delivery, but I am a little bit addicted to delivery. I make my dinner, have a shower, I get ready for bed, and then I find an episode of something to watch on Netflix that is not action, because I learnt that the hard way through Prison Break, that I will never go to sleep because it's so addictive. And so I find something like Motherland or Peep Show, something light and entertaining to put on, watch an episode or two, and then go to sleep. But it's really important to know that boundaries are different for everyone. Just because I work the weekend doesn't mean that anyone else has to. And I probably realistically shouldn't be working the weekend, but it is what it is. But you need to find out what your personal boundaries are and then stick to them. So it can be really small things, for example, like when you wake up, not checking your phone first thing in the morning. That's a boundary, and you say, okay, I'm not going to check it till 9 o'clock. And then saying, okay, I'm not going to check my work messages or my emails after 5. And those may be your boundaries. But for me, what's been really helpful is getting a work phone. And obviously, if you're a limited company director, you can have one phone per one employee, and you can put the cost of the phone and the contract through the limited company. And for me, that work phone has been so monumental in me setting boundaries and having a bit more of a work-life balance, because all of my clients are on that phone. All my emails are on that phone, all my social media are on that phone. So for example, if I'm at a personal event like a family birthday, then I can put my work phone in my bag and not look at it. Vice versa, if I'm going to a networking event and I don't want my personal phone on me, I can put that in my bag and only carry my work phone, which has been so helpful. It also means at night I just take my personal phone with me to bed, and I can leave my work phone in the living room and not look at it late at night and not look at it early in the morning, which has been so helpful. And I think in terms of managing client relationships, it's really important that you set out expectations for your clients, saying, okay, What channel of communication would you like? So for me, I mostly communicate with my clients through WhatsApp. That's just what works for us. Other people, it may be email, text, DMs, whatever it may be. You just have to find what's best for you and set the expectations with your clients of how often you're going to contact them, when you're going to have meetings, if you're available for WhatsApp support, if you're not available for WhatsApp support, whatever makes sense in your head and for your personal business, that's what you should do. You should never let anyone else pressure you into thinking something's the best thing. If it's the best thing for you, then it's the best thing for your business. And it's also really important to be upfront with clients. There's stuff that I come across that I don't know how to do, or I can't answer their question. And I always turn around and say, I'm not sure, but let me go check with someone and I'll give you an answer. It's really important to have that open conversation with your client, because you'll come across questions and queries all the time that you may not know the answer to. And it's completely okay not to know, but don't give them the wrong answer or a false answer. Just, again, it's all about clear communication with your clients and setting those boundaries. What's also good for managing client relationships is having external partners in different sectors. So I've got partners in wealth management and R&D tax credits, for example, and it means that any of those queries I can then put my clients in touch with them. And it makes me seem like a valuable source of knowledge because I surround myself with good and knowledgeable people. For example, a couple of my clients are looking to buy houses. I'm not a mortgage advisor, however, I know good mortgage advisors, especially for self-employed people. So I can put my clients in touch with them and then they feel happy. And again, it just makes me look more reputable because I know lots of people I can put them in touch with that are good contacts and can help them. The main takeaway is to learn what your boundaries are and put them in place and don't move them. And your boundaries are whatever works for you. So, for example, for me, I'm not a morning person whatsoever. So I don't put really any meetings in my diary before 10 a.m. because I'm just not awake. And I really enjoy a slow morning. I like waking up and making breakfast, looking out the window and enjoying it, and then looking at emails and then getting stuck into client work and calls. Other people are very different to me. They like waking up at 5 a.m, 6 a.m, and doing all of their work then. That's when they're more productive. For me, I'm more productive in like the afternoon, evenings. That's when I get a lot of my work done. But you just need to figure out what is best for you and to stick to it.